Yo, how's it going, you guys? We're nice, solid video here today, and I just want to ask everybody a solid question that some of y'all may have an answer to, some of y'all may not have an answer to. But the question that I have for y'all is, when did we start giving clowns a platform? Like, since genuinely, when was it cool to be a clown in video games, in online entertainment, and to be glorified? Since when did we start doing that? I feel like in the latest content creator space and in the recent years of just looking at YouTube and looking at people's environment in general, like genuinely the easiest, quickest route to blow up in any industry in entertainment is to just be an absolute clown, have no real substance, or to be a dork who exploits something and that people just uphold. Why is that a thing? I only bring this up because in the gaming industry specifically, I look around and I see so many people be given a platform for having no real game knowledge of anything whatsoever and are glorified and upheld for looking at exploits, glitches, and just putting people on to bullshit. When I was younger, like, if you came up in the scene and you were a spammer, a zoner, or you just played dork like, people would just actively ignore you or just be like, all right, cool, it's nice you found that, like, good for you. But I feel like nowadays, when people find these players, they kind of make them staples in the community. Like, it's something to be proud of. Like, it's some sort of grand accomplishment to run across these players or beat them and just really spread their names around to give them popularity I feel like they quite frankly don't deserve. If you're helping kill a game, whether your playstyle is widespread or not, I feel like at that point, you're a part of the problem. You shouldn't have a platform, and to be honest, you should be thrown under a bridge. But in this day and age, I feel like the active communities around these different games do the complete opposite by upholding these people and making them some sort of martyr for the future of these games in general. I also understand that this isn't something new in gaming. It's not like this is something that suddenly started happening when Sparking Zero dropped, but I've had my fair share of dorks, of course, playing Storm. And one of the differences I found in the more casual side of the Storm community is that these people just weren't upheld. It was like, oh, cool, that dude, yeah, we know what his gimmick is. Moving on. And that's what I really liked about the casual side of the community. You didn't get these massive rewards for playing dork. Like, they were just like, all right, cool, you saw the windscreen. Next. Oh, what? You play neutral? You know the other characters? You're better? You understand the game's mechanics? You're the type of guy we should be paying attention to. And that was something that I found out to be really cool. One of the coolest and like most common instances that I ran across with this was when I used to join this dude Captain's Crib's tournaments in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. He used to stream the game late at night, and me being the night owl I am, I had nothing to fucking do except edit videos, join random tournaments and endlesses to kill time on the side. And he would host these tournaments. What would happen at first is people would join up and try to flex and stunt to show off how good they are in the game, picking the most broken ass characters with the most broken ass presets. And when he just didn't give the initial reaction of, oh my god, I'm losing, this is crazy, this guy is amazing, what? They just steadily stopped joining up. And what we would have is people who genuinely understood the game, people who just wanted to play, have fun, and just have a good environment started to join way more often than people who just felt like they had something to prove. And I feel like that's not something that's necessarily bad. And I get it. Everybody, every once in a while, wants to join up on their favorite streamer and show that they're better than them or flex about how good they are. But I feel like everything has a time and a place. And I feel like, again, if you're playing in a more exploitatious way, not giving these people the reaction they want, which is really just attention, is the key to keeping those types of playstyles at bay and keeping these people from really growing in a widespread manner. Because if they grow too much, then you're going to have other dorks pop off and try to do the exact same thing, because if they see one person get rewarded, then why shouldn't I do it too? Unfortunately, we are in a drone-like society. I'm realizing that slowly more and more when it comes to gaming in general. It's not even like just anime games, but that's just how the current society is. Monkey see, monkey do. And I feel like the more we reward people's retarded playstyles, the more we sit here and reward people for being dorks, the more people are going to think that's a good idea to start off doing. And that's just what I really see in all these different games the more they come out. Now, obviously, this isn't something that just started happening, but I feel like, and I swear this could just be me, and I know that Sparking Zero Twitter was already a circus. It's nothing but dudes chasing for clout based on ranks, random clips out of context, and things of that nature. But the more I see this man Unzad's name, the more I wonder how many people actually have brain cells. And it only struck me because I see this man's name pop up at least 20 times a day through YouTube or through Twitter. And it's like, why in God's name do we keep giving people, and specifically dorks, a platform to seem popular or to seem like there's somebody worth beating? If you're good with one character and I just so happen to beat you, that's not officially a Twitter clip. That is not a time for me to hop on YouTube and say, guys, look, 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 I finally caught him. Look, 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 look. It's not a feat. Let alone we should be looking at the dork and saying, bro, what are you doing? Instead, I feel like it's upheld and it's like, yo, look, this dude who plays one way, look at what he's doing. Look, 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 look. And I feel like whether you're uplifting the man or you're quote unquote downplaying him, either way, I feel like you're giving him a platform at a certain point. And the more I see him pop up on Sparking Zero titles, the more I feel like, why is he relevant enough to be a part of the Sparking Zero conversation? He's a dork. Why are we giving dorks platforms? And this isn't just Unzad, this also applies to other people like Six World. I remember when Six World was trending in Sparking Zero. He was one of the biggest anomalies I've ever seen when it comes to the game. And people would non-stop post this dude about him playing Kefla, flying behind people and playing ultimates. And he genuinely got clout and genuinely damn near blew up off of playing a single character online in a video game. And I feel like that's only possible because people give the initial reaction that they want, instead of just looking at it, shutting it down and be like, all right, cool, next, right? And there's nothing wrong with having a personality. There's nothing wrong with memeing. There's nothing wrong with like clowning, having a good time online. But I feel like people genuinely go out of their ways at this point to just uplift dorks. And it just bothers me because there's so many genuine people out there. Fuck my content. It's not even just like, oh, these people are getting attention, I'm not. I at this point, I'm far past the whole Sparking Zero clout train in any other game at this point in time. I see what YouTube game we're playing here when it comes to anime games. But there's so many other content creators, there's so many other skilled players that just don't get any sort of platform or don't get any real relative attention for being good versus dudes who get on these games and play dork-like. And it makes you wonder, why not play like a dork, right? It kind of gives you that reverse psychology argument of like, it gives incentive to continue to be a dork. Why would I learn a character? Why would I teach you guys how to play a game? Or why would I post myself being a genuinely skilled player when it won't really get anywhere versus somebody playing one character and being uplifted like they're the latest superhero in the story? You know what I mean? And it just doesn't make sense to me, and it's just one of the many things that came to my attention. Like I said, this isn't nothing new. I'm making this video because one, I need a video. You guys apparently like rants versus actual gameplay. And two, because of the fact that it's just something I see all over my timeline and I'm like, dude, why the fuck is this non-relevant dork everywhere? Like, what is happening? Is this satire? Like, what the fuck? What timeline am I in? Is this a joke? So I wanted to ask you guys that genuine question. Maybe somebody has the answer. Why do we keep posting him? Why do we keep talking about this guy? Well, Kaizen, you're talking about him, so technically you're part of the problem. It's like, no, I'm addressing the problem. I'm talking about why these dudes are uplifted. Like, I'm not even joking. You guys can go and check for yourselves and see how many people put this man in titles and how many people talk about things he's actively doing as a player. And they're all the same video. Like, they're all the same thing. Him zoning, him losing, or him barely winning matches, him doing stuff in the community. I'm like, since when was it cool to put on dorks in the community? Did I miss something? Like, genuinely, since when was it the coolest thing to do to give people platforms on multiple channels by playing exploitations or playing dork-like? Nobody likes playing UIs. Everybody feels the exact same way. The game died because of that character for the most part, because niggas didn't know how to put the character down. So why are we uplifting somebody who's doing the exact same thing? I don't get it. Don't get it. But hey, man, that is why I came here. That's why I decided to sit down after work. After seeing this man in like 3 different YouTube posts, I'm on the way home on the train and I'm like, you guys just really like talking about this guy. And it's not even just YouTube, it's Twitter as well. Like, oh my god, I just ran to Unzad. Oh my god, guys, Unzad this, Unzad that. I'm like, yo, this man, y'all love this man. For somebody who is really dork like and y'all supposedly don't like, y'all really talk about this man a lot. And like, the same applies to Six World a lot. For somebody who y'all could not stand, for somebody who quote unquote helped kill the game, for somebody who y'all didn't like's playstyle, y'all talked about him every day. Like, this shit is crazy to me. Why are we giving platforms to people we don't like? That shit confuses me to no end. And it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't even be a title. It wouldn't even be something to talk about if the same people giving the platform to the dude weren't the same people talking about why the game is dead. And if you're confused as to why that's a problem, well, let me break the shit down for you in YouTube terms and common sense terms. How in God's name are you going to talk about why the game is dead, and then on the other hand talk about the same people who killed the game as if they're somebody who to be appraised? Does that make sense to y'all? So on one hand, on one video, I talk about why the game's dead, how much a character killed the game, and then a week later, on the other hand, I talk about a certain character within the community, and then I talk about the person playing the character while showing you how to play the exact same way that killed the game in the first place. You see, in law terms, we call that a conflict of interest. You see? Now, I know, this isn't law, it's not that serious, but I'm just kind of trying to break it down to you in real world terms that you can kind of just look up and understand as to why that would be a problem. And, you know, again, I find it hard to understand why you would represent somebody who is going against representing what you stand for, right? So if you're a fan of Sparking Zero and you're upset about the current state of the game, you're upset about certain play styles, you're upset about the community, you're upset about the way people play, why would it make sense for me to then a week later show you exactly how people play, uplift the people who are playing that way, and then talk about it in a positive manner? Does that make sense to y'all? I don't think it makes sense to me. But if it does make sense to y'all, I would love for you to break it down in the comments so that it could make sense to me, and then I can apply it to my real life mindset. Because I am a grower, I am a thinker. Right, this isn't a set in stone video. This is literally a questioned video. Like, this is a video of me asking y'all a question. If what I'm saying makes sense to me and it makes sense to you watching the video, just type "it makes sense." You're completely right. If it doesn't make sense and you feel like you should be able to upload both types of content and it shouldn't matter, then hey, break it down, explain to me down below why it shouldn't matter, why these people who play like a dork should have a platform, why I shouldn't be able to define who is allowed and who isn't allowed a platform, and continue with my day. Am I the policeman for who should have a platform? Of course not. I'm just a content creator uploading because he needs something for Monday. But what I am is an old school gamer who remembers a time when people with genuine skill, genuine talent, and genuine input were allowed to blow up. They were allowed a platform to show off their styles, their skill sets, and it incentivized them to do so. But what we have right now is a current day and age where playing like a dork and taking the shortest route possible to the windscreen is upheld, and it gives you a platform to grow in the fastest way possible. Do I like it? Not at all. But again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm lying, I'm flying, right? As my coworker says. But let me know again what you guys think in the comments down below. This has been Kaizen Kuma, very short rant. Don't take this video too seriously. Clearly, I'm not. So if you guys are already rage baiting in the comments, talk about, but who are you to talk about who's supposed to make content? We can do whatever we want. Come on, y'all. This is, if you guys aren't a part of my channel for long enough and you haven't caught on to my tonality at this point, it's clearly a satire video. Do I actually care? No, I already have plans for my future of YouTube. But I actually am genuinely curious as to y'all input on this matter. That is something I actually am curious as to y'all input. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday with the next video. We're gonna have these Bleach Rebirth of Souls character guys dropping. Hell yes, we are. We got ourselves them Kenpachis, the Toshiros, the Shunsuis. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Finally, I can put y'all on the game. Why does it taking so long, Kaizen? Because again, if you guys are new to my channel, I literally have like a mental date as to how long before I put out guides. I am an old school gamer, like I said in the video, so I personally feel like people should learn the game naturally before I start teaching them how to play, because then you're gonna have people playing the exact same way you do, using your exact same BNBs, and that kills creativity. It's not like Bleach Rebirth of Souls has a million different routes you can go anyway. It's not like it's like Tekken or Fighters or some shit like that. But regardless of the fact, I would like people to learn of their own accord before I start handing them the controls on exactly what to do in certain situations. It allows more creativity. It allows you to just play in your own natural state. And that's just a rule of mine. Old school game mentality that I have, but fear not, the wait is over and the guides will start this week. So I look forward to teaching you guys. This has been the week rant. I will see you guys on the next rant and later. Have a good night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
My fate doesn't matter.